All right, then we will call the meeting to order. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Someone other than me can start.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Kristen Cambenzi,
Here.
James Hewitt,
Here.
Len Sarka,
Here.
Jennifer Cliff,
Here.
Jennifer Ray,
Here.
Cheryl Maddox Smith,
Here.
Jason Zajunik,
Here.
Now do we have to take nominations for the temporary chairperson or?
correct.
Okay. So if anyone would like to nominate a temporary chairperson,
I would nominate Kristen Kimbenzi as temporary chairperson for the meeting.
I would second.
okay. Any other nominations? So we have a motion by Mr. Hewitt, support by Mrs. Cliff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Support.
All right, motion made by Ms. Ray, support by Mr. Hewitt. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
You want that to include A, minutes of regular board meeting?
Oh, yep, sorry. To include the minutes of the regular board meeting of December 18th, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Hewitt, support by Mrs. Clip. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on to elect officers for the period of January 8th, 2024 to January 2025. Starting with president. Do I hear any nominations for president?
I would nominate Kristen Kimbenzi for president.
Support.
Are there any other nominations? Okay, then hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. And now I would entertain nominations for vice president.
I would nominate Glenn Sarka as vice president.
Second.
Second.
Are there any further nominations? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving on to secretary treasurer, I would entertain nominations for secretary treasurer.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Jim Hewitt for secretary treasurer.
Support.
Okay. Any further nominations? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, congratulations. Or condolences, whichever. All right, moving on to new business. Organizational meeting issues. I would entertain a motion to approve the organizational meeting issues 1 through 7.
So I would make a motion, if everybody's had a chance, just to make this a long-winded motion, to review all this ahead of time, but rather than reading it out line by line, item by item, if anybody has something they want to do specifically, we can amend that. But otherwise, having said that, I would make a motion to approve items 1 through 7 on the new reorganizational meeting issues.
Support.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Hewitt, support by Ms. Ray. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and then new business B, Set board meeting dates for 2024, see attached. So I would entertain a motion to approve the meeting dates as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the board meeting dates for 2024 as seen on the attachment.
I would
Support.
support.
All right, motion made by Ms. Ray, supported by Mr. Sarka. Any further comments about the meeting dates? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. All right, moving on to the rebranding process. Just to update the audience here and later. We received 34 names from our 35 advisories. We had one class go rogue. They weren't too happy with their choices, so, but they luckily picked a name that was already on our list. So, so from there, the board did a couple of self-evaluations about the 34 names, including listing some pros and cons, and then rating them likely, maybe, or no. So in front of you, I think I just did a little, put all the names on the sheet and then kind of color coded, mostly for the no's, to maybe try to knock a few of the names off so we can get to a more manageable number. So I would like to open it up to some conversation regarding this. I mean, I think that for some of these, I think we could probably eliminate all the names that the 7 board members said no to. So that would eliminate 3 from the running. And then we could even look at eliminating the ones that had 6s. But open for conversation. Mr. Hewitt?
Yeah, I was just gonna jump in to say, I'm open to any combination of the sort. I just quickly tallied up the ones that had 5 or more no's, and that's actually 23, which would narrow it down pretty significantly. And I guess just depending on the remaining timeline, which if the public didn't notice from the agenda, but we'd be looking to, right, you want detail, we'd be hoping to have a special meeting, not hoping, we're having a special meeting next week, right, to,
Well, we'd be having our regular board meeting next week.
oh, sorry, that's it,
on,
yeah.
on the 16th. So we would take whatever remaining names and try to whittle it down to, I'm hoping 2 by then. And then we would have a special meeting on the 22nd to discuss the remainder and pick a new nickname at that date, is my hope.
And I would be open. I think brilliant minds think alike. I was thinking 5 and above no's. I think we can eliminate. I think it's a pretty clear message from from the board and from the students as well. And that leaves us with a manageable number. We're at 11, I think, then. And I think that gives us something good to work with.
Okay, so on the list, then we would cross out all of the names 5 and below.
5 and up.
Oh, 5 and up, sorry. 5 and up, sorry.
Given the vote totals, I mean, 4 or more.
That's what I was thinking,
I was just gonna say
with the
that.
majority, why wouldn't we do 4?
Okay.
Right?
Because even 11 in 2 weeks,
I'm
I
okay with
feel like
4.
if we do the math, 4 and more is,
Yeah, because I mean, that is a majority of the board
that's right.
that says no,
That
so,
would add another 3.
okay.
That would get us at 8.
Mhm.
Is that the math?
Yep, okay, so if we cross off all of the 4s and above,
So the other way to say that is that we would be right now holding it's kind of a weird way to say it. 1, 2s, and 3s for likely.
Yep.
Right.
Or 1, 2s, and 3s for no.
Right, that's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
well,
yeah, a little.
right, it's a
but-
weird scale, right? 4s, 5s.
And do we want to let people know?
Yep, so then we would be left with the Hawks,
Yeah,
the Marauders,
yeah.
the Cardinals, the Red Hawks,
Wait a minute.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Red Hawks, the Red Jackets,
Yep.
the Reds,
Yep.
the Red Tail Hawks, and the Sentinels. Okay, so yep, that would give us 8 names left. So again, it would be the Hawks, the Marauders, the Cardinals, the Red Hawks, the Red Jackets, the Reds, the Red Tail Hawks, and the Sentinels. So we're good with having 8 names going forward to next week?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so then we would have, the board email open for public comments on the 8 remaining names. We would also get those out maybe in a press release or something.
I can get something drafted to you tonight.
So we would get those out to the public. We would leave the board email open for public comment on the names. Just to, if people wanted to write in, like, yeah, I really like that name, or ugh, just to give the board a little bit of direction without it being, again, a popularity contest, but just letting us know what you like, what you don't like.
I also think it may not be a bad idea to remind, I think we talked about this, I don't know at what stage of the process, but to remind everybody that we were looking for things that were, a potential nickname that was specific to our, right, specific to our area, that we were not going to be running into in postseason playoffs. There was another piece of criteria.
Gender neutral.
Gender
I think.
neutral, I think,
I
yeah.
think they're all
Yeah,
Protect
so,
the
yeah.
class,
protected
So,
class.
In that, whatever goes out to the public, not that it's a mandate, but I think it would be helpful, even for us, for criteria, to, encourage, even using the word encourage or something like that, just to have a center.
Can I, Claire, you're saying for the press release tonight?
Yeah,
Okay.
or, I'm thinking like if we're gonna say something about, would love to hear your feedback or whatever, somehow using a gentle, a verb.
Sure.
Encourage
We already
that,
have that
other
verbiage
criteria.
from the.
Yeah, if you want, I'll just add the
Original
same
survey.
language
Yep.
from the last survey.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so, I think 8 is definitely a manageable number for us to work on over the next week. And then hopefully we can get it down maybe to the top 2 or 3 for next week. So then we can have, a final decision hopefully by the 22nd or on the 22nd.
Okay.
When you say hopefully,
Well, I would like this.
Yeah.
I think the
do we
board
say
is-
hopefully, or we're calling this on the
We're-
22nd?
We will have a decision on the 22nd. Because I think that the board can agree.
I think we can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
I will be out of town next week, so I can give input however you
Yep.
prior.
Yep. Okay.
And a lot of good names didn't make it. We had how many originally?
Yeah, I think originally we had over 2,000 submissions, and then we whittled it down to 400, and then 350, and then 34. And we have 8 good names, I think. So,
Yeah, and actually I wasn't certain whether I was even gonna comment on this, but I was kind of reading the audience with a quieter audience. that's not probably not the right way to say that, but I know one of the names that came through oftentimes, I think generating, stemming way back from 2019 when a student presented it, was Mariners that came in a lot. But just, for kind of on the record, that name is currently being used in a school in the tip of the mitt. And so as we have to travel more and more for competition, the last thing we want to do is be running into ourselves in any postseason competition.
Does anyone else want to comment on the process, or?
No, I guess, too hot there, sorry. So for next week, we'll just again have more open discussion, try to have consensus on like a final 2 or 3. Okay. And then, have a action item for the 22nd for a vote.
Oh, and you know how we actually at one point, there's been so many steps here, I think it was, we mimicked the steps that the students took as a board, putting pros and cons. Is there a way to just kind of generate some of those for the remaining 8? I don't know where that, just so we can kind of, just have some feedback. That was a helpful exercise even for me. So I'd love to see what everybody else thought, because we didn't get anyone else's responses other than what we submitted.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we can for sure do that. Any further comments? All right, then we will move on to gifts and bequests. John Prince of JP Electric Professionals Incorporated donated $1,750 for clothing for MAP students. Okay, so thank you very much for that donation. Comments from the public. Mr. Garrison, do you want to comment this time?
No, thank
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. Moving on to board member comments. Mrs. Maddox Smith?
I just want to thank everybody for showing up and for the board for their hard work. I'm looking forward to a new year and doing good things.
Mr. Zadunik?
I don't know if anybody asked you if you formally accepted the nomination.
No.
Or Jim or Glenn, for that matter. Other than that, no additional comment at this time. Thank you.
I probably skipped that part. I wasn't giving anyone an option. Mrs. Clip?
No, I mean, again, thank you for the $1,750 for clothing. That's so kind, goodness gracious, and so many of our kids are needing that. And really, since there are some administrators here, thank you so much, specifically to the students for engaging in the feedback process. I know I did, and I'm certain other folks did. We really took a look at those pros and cons from each advisory. And wow, we had some such thoughtful responses. I've said it before, but kids are pretty amazing, and our kids in this community, insightful, thoughtful. I was really impressed with their feedback. So thanks to the teachers, to the administrators, and mostly to the students.
Ms. Ray?
Just want to say thanks to you 3 for stepping up and taking those roles again. Appreciate that. Didn't even have to be discussed, and you all just do it effortlessly. So I know what that brings, but I appreciate that, and definitely thanks to for the donation. I mean, that's huge from JP Electric. Other than that, thanks.
Mr. Hewitt?
No additional comments, thanks.
Mr. Sarka?
I think a catch-22 is when kind of explains our predicament in accepting these positions. If we're kind of crazy enough to accept them, we're probably not qualified to serve as, in our positions. I think it's interesting as we're talking about the rebranding. It's a big football game tonight, I think, with University of Michigan. And it's interesting just because, you know, the logo and the you know, the nickname of U of M is a Wolverine, and as far as we can tell, there's only one known Wolverine in the state of Michigan. It's in a park in Bay City. It's the only known one to ever be in Michigan, you know, and we've attached ourselves to that logo, and they're about to win the national championship. So, you know, I'm looking forward to us choosing a name and moving forward and winning a bunch of games and making a bunch of memories. And I think that's what's important about the rebranding. So again, go blue. Red.
Board president comments. I would just like to thank the board for your support again. You know, I think that we have a really, really great board, and I'm just really thankful for all of you and for your support. Let's see. Announcements and other meetings. January 15th, 2024, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, no school. January 16th, board meeting. It's a regularly scheduled meeting here at the library. January 22nd will be a special meeting at 5:30 at Kaufman Auditorium. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion made by Ms. Ray, support by Mr. Hewitt. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed. All right, motion passes. Thank you.